Hi, this is Andrew Sheaf with Mastering Flow. I help triathletes identify the critical skills for fast swimming, and I provide them with the tools to learn those skills in any location. The positive feedback and comments I've received from the last two videos has been overwhelming. Thank you so much. It's so cool to see the excitement. That excitement is the result of the challenges you faced while trying to improve in the water and the prospect for progress. In my last two videos, I've described the challenges that adult onset swimmers face when trying to improve their swimming. Specifically, I've identified the real problem with adult onset swimming. Most adults simply aren't comfortable in the water, and this drastically affects their ability to swim effectively. Establishing comfort is all about the skills associated with managing your lungs, the life preserver you're born with. Importantly, these are skills that anyone can learn anywhere without the direct supervision of a coach. And typically, significant progress can be made pretty quickly. These are strategies I developed and fine-tuned over 20 years of working with athletes in the water. From children learning to swim to triathletes and master swimmers in their 70s, as well as world champions and Olympic medalists. I want you to think about something. How would your triathlon experience differ if you weren't dreading the swim? How would your triathlon experience differ if you weren't concerned about simply finishing the swim leg? How would your triathlon experience differ if you could actually race? How would your triathlon experience differ if you weren't afraid but confident in your abilities? How would your triathlon experience differ if the exhaustion of simply being in the water was replaced by the exertion of effort? In my previous videos, I shared the stories of Lena and Steve. Both struggled with their speed and sustainability in the water. I want to share the story of Miles. Miles is short and stocky with big muscular legs, the complete opposite of your prototypical swimmer. As a result, his legs sank when he tried to swim, and if they weren't sinking, it was because he was kicking furiously to try to keep them up at the surface. Needless to say, that's exactly what you don't want on the swim leg of a triathlon. However, after implementing some of the strategies I discussed in the previous videos, Miles was able to make a breakthrough. He was super excited as he provided me the feedback that he just didn't have to kick anymore. He'd learned to improve his position by managing his air, something he never thought possible. That took all the pressure off of his legs. As a result, he was now able to swim faster and save his legs for when he really needed them in the second two legs of the triathlon. You may not be convinced that the strategies I've laid out would work for you. After all, you've probably been down this path before. You've worked on improving your swimming skills and experienced little to no tangible progress. I get that. You may believe it was a problem with what you were doing, that skills don't work, or even that the problem is you. Perhaps you think you're just not a natural, or you struggle to learn skills, or that you don't have the right body type for swimming. It's possible, or even likely, that you're right. However, even you can learn how to float. But don't take my word for it. Try this exercise.
The ball float is the simplest float, and all swimmers should be able to accomplish it. Simply take a big breath, squeeze tight, and patiently wait for yourself to settle in the water. If you're concerned about becoming uncomfortable, simply perform the float in shallow water so that you can stand up as necessary.
You will find that you're supported in the water no matter who you are. Of course, that exercise is just the start of the process, but if you can find comfort in one position, you can learn to find comfort in any position. Now, if you recall from previous videos and earlier in this video, individuals that no one would describe as natural swimmers were able to get results by taking a different approach. They too had tried the typical skills and drills as well and got nowhere. It was only when they addressed the real problem that they got results. And this was despite their inexperience and not being natural swimmers. You may also be thinking that you'd need an expert to teach you in person each step of the way. While you do need some guidance, which is what I'm here for, remember that countless children across the world have been able to intuitively achieve these results without any specific guidance. There's zero reason that you can't achieve the same outcome as well, as you're just relying on your natural instincts and your anatomy. I'm just short-circuiting the process to help you accelerate your progress in learning these skills. All the examples I shared with you are individuals that I never coached in person. Again, try the ball float exercise. You don't need me there in person for it to work. You may also not be convinced that working on your freestyle is somehow going to improve your freestyle. Well, again, you're right. Not swimming freestyle isn't going to improve your freestyle. That's why you have to swim plenty of freestyle in order to learn to be comfortable while swimming freestyle. However, at least initially, you're not going to be worried about the specific details of freestyle swimming. It's all about establishing comfort. Imagine how much easier it would be to learn freestyle skills if you weren't just focused on getting enough air or maintaining your position on the surface. That's how improving your comfort in the water is going to improve your freestyle. Speaking of improvement, how will you know if you're performing the exercises correctly? How will you know if you're improving? Well, the exercises that I use can't be performed wrong. They're designed to help you experience comfort and learn to establish comfort using your unique body. While you'll have a general idea of what to do, there's not necessarily a wrong or a right way to do it. It's simply about practicing in different positions. You'll know you're making progress when swimming feels a little bit less tense, a little bit less effortful, and you're able to breathe a little bit easier. It's simply about performing exercises that you can't screw up and then creating those same sensations when you're swimming freestyle. Others have expressed the concern that they may lose fitness. Remember that fitness is just how much energy you can create and how efficiently you use that energy. As you're probably aware, you're likely not using your energy as efficiently as you could in the water. Improving your comfort in the water is guaranteed to improve your efficiency and thus your fitness. You simply won't be wasting energy trying to stay afloat. Plus, once you're more comfortable, it's going to be much easier to swim faster and longer. And that will definitely take your fitness to the next level. Now, I want to zoom back out for a second. Excessive kicking, legs that seem to drag on the bottom, rushed and frantic breathing, excessive sculling and side-to-side arm actions, low-grade fear of the water, a perpetual sense of exhaustion. You can probably relate to some or all of these experiences. They were problems for me and the athletes I work with. So I worked to solve them. Again, imagine what it will be like to improve your swimming to be comfortable in the water. Imagine where it's not a perpetual struggle each and every time you get in the water. Imagine getting out of the swim, ready to rock and roll on the bike, not just glad that you survived and completely exhausted. You may believe that as an adult onset swimmer, these types of experiences just aren't in the cards for you. If you take the traditional approach, you're probably right. However, if you address the real problems, achieving these outcomes becomes a real possibility. In the next couple days, I'm going to have an offer for you to make this happen. It'll provide the strategic framework for addressing adult onset swimming. It will provide the exercises that allow you to put that framework into action. And it will show you how to put it all into practice. Most importantly, it will have training sessions and training plans that you can implement today. It's not going to be around forever, so be on the lookout for my next email or my next video to get in on it while you can. Thanks again for your time. If you found this helpful or insightful in any way, please share it with a friend or a colleague. Help them understand that progress in the water is possible, no matter who they are or what their experiences have been. Share it on social media, forward them the link. I would really appreciate it, and I'm sure that they would as well. Keep an eye out for that email.